Crip Mac is one of the most popular gang-affiliated internet personalities at the moment. He's technically a rapper, but most people know him for his wild interviews and lingo. The internet has shown him a lot of love recently, but his come up as a Crip in LA ain't been easy. From jail fights and street politics to going viral with his cat, then getting DP'd by his own set, Crip Mac has been through it all. This is the wild story of Crip Mac. C-Mac was born and raised in LA. He spent some time in Texas after his mom moved out there with her boyfriend, but it didn't take long before he moved back to California and lived with his aunt. As a teenager, C-Mac never stayed in one place for long. He moved to different spots all over LA, but he wasn't affiliated yet, so he ain't have any problems living in different neighborhoods. Before he ever started repping the Crips, C-Mac tried to work a legit job as a mechanic's assistant, but according to him, he started hitting the old English hard around this time and stopped going to work. Then, at the age of 19, he moved to 55th Street and everything changed. But to understand everything going on right now, we gotta back it up and take a look at the gang situation in South Central. After World War II ended, things in America wasn't great. People was losing their jobs and poverty rates was going up because the war had been filling the economy. It was bad for everyone, but the black community had it the worst. Segregation was still going on, and they didn't have no way to protect their communities from abuse and violence. That's when gang culture in America really started. Back then, it wasn't about hustling and getting money. It was all about protecting each other and their neighborhoods. The Crips started in South Central in 1969 by Stanley Tookie Williams and Raymond Lee Washington, and by 1978, there was already 45 sets in LA. A lot of civilians think all Crips are the same. They hear about the war between the Crips and Bloods and think there's only two sides, but that couldn't be farther from the truth. Crip sets beef with each other all the time. In South Central, rival sets can live right next door to each other. Back in the day, the PJ Watts Crips even linked up with the Bounty Hunter Bloods go after the Grape Street Crips. And the Hoover Crips had beef with so many sets, they ended up dropping the Crip name completely and started calling themselves the Hoover Criminals. A lot of Crip sets are named after the street where their members live. So the 5-5 neighborhood Crips at C-Mac reps are based on 55th Street in South Central. But the 5-5 Crips are also allied with the 5-7 and 5-8 neighborhood Crips under the Rollin' 50s umbrella. The Rollin' 50s are allied with other neighborhood Crips like the Rollin' 40s, 50s, 60s, and more. Then all the Rollin' O's are allied under the neighborhood Crip card. One of the neighborhood Crips' biggest ops are the 5-1 Trouble Gangsta Crips. They started out as a graffiti crew, but then they linked up with the Gangsta Crips. Now, they allied with the A-Tray Gangsta Crips and the 5 Deuce Hoover Gangsta Crips too. 5-1 Trouble and 5 Deuce Hoover also had their own alliance called the 5-1 Deuce Crips. 5-5 and the neighborhood Crips also have major beef with the Hoover Criminals, who used to be an allied Crips set. What makes this war even crazier is how close the neighborhoods really are. C-Mac showed the interviewer that if you on 55th Street, you only gotta walk a couple streets over to be in the Hoover territory. Some dudes like C-Mac hate rival Crip sets, but don't have issues with the Bloods. 5-5 has had beef with Blood sets in the past, but C-Mac says Crips and Bloods, they can make money together. You know what they say, blue and red make green. Right now, C-Mac is the most famous 5-5 Crip in the world, but he had to get put on just like everyone else to join the gang. He said in the interview that 10 Crips jumped him in the alleyway, and from then on, he's been repping the set harder than anyone. His OG asked C-Mac why he wanted to gangbang, and C-Mac told him, "I want to kill, destruct, and destroy." C-Mac ain't really talked about specific crimes or the charges he's caught, but he's been in and out of jail several times over the years. He don't talk much about the dirt he's done in the streets, but getting locked up in 2017 is what made him take rapping more seriously. According to C-Mac, neighborhood affiliations don't matter as much in prison, and the only thing that matters is race. So even if he saw Hoovers on the inside, they would stick together because they black. When he started riding behind bars in 2017, he says even dudes from rival sets told him he was hot. The first time C-Mac went viral, he was still in prison. He recorded a diss track aimed at Cardi B inside his cell and uploaded it straight to YouTube. Going after Cardi seemed like a random move, but C-Mac always does his own thing, and it ended up getting him some clout too. C-Mac got released in 2018, but he wasn't able to celebrate for long. One of his closest homies lost his life in the war against the Hoover Criminals. This loss is what made C-Mac get Hoover Killer tatted on his forehead. The Hoovers was already his ops because of street politics, but now the beef was personal. C-Mac ain't going into details about what happened to his homie, but even though he was struggling through the loss, C-Mac kept spreading positivity. He started posting videos on YouTube with his pet cat, and people loved it. It was weird seeing a street dude upload anything that wasn't about money or dissing ops, but C-Mac's video showed off his unique personality, and he quickly built a following online. But for a dude who reps the set as hard as C-Mac does, success is always going to bring more problems. As he got more popular, more ops started dissing him on social media. One of the biggest beefs he had was with an alleged Hoover member named Jap 5. Jap 5 called C-Mac out for being a fraud and putting on a front. According to Jap, C-Mac ain't really in the streets like he says, and is just getting face tats and clout chasing.
Any real street know, bro, that's cap, bro. All that face tats, bro, that's bluff.
Then C-Mac offered Jap a fade, but Jap turned it down and said he's too rich to fight him. Jap also dropped a diss track called Activate, where he used C-Mac's voice. But now, he's allegedly in jail for murder, so he's got bigger issues to deal with than his beef with C-Mac. But Jap 5 ain't the only op C-Mac wants to fight. C-Mac has been beefing with Blueface on social media for a while, and now he's trying to get a celebrity boxing match set up so they can settle their differences in the ring. C-Mac's activity online is constantly going back and forth between posting videos of him playing with his cat and giving homeless people free pizza to threatening his ops and saying he'll kill them. He also started posting videos of him arguing with his grandma, which his fans seem to love. While he was blowing up with his interviews and YouTube channel, C-Mac kept making music too. He started playing small local shows, but it's clear that most of his audience ain't tuning in to hear his bars. Even though he's been in several YouTube videos with millions of views, he still only has 16,000 monthly listeners on Spotify. C-Mac blew up online for making funny videos and helping out his community. But behind his loud and positive personality, he was hiding a lot of the pain he was going through. In March 2021, he posted a video where he revealed that he's been diagnosed with schizophrenia.
I suffer on hood mental illness, which is diagnosed schizophrenia.
You don't usually hear gang members talk about their mental health struggles so openly, but C-Mac ain't your average Crip. He told his fans he was diagnosed when he was a teenager, and he's been struggling with his mental health his whole life.
You know, I was diagnosed around a teenager with it. My mental health doctors let me know, hey, this is what's going on, you know.
Paranoia is one of the main symptoms of his illness that Crip Mac has struggled with. While getting famous has given him more opportunities, it's also made his mental health worse in some ways. In March 2021, he went on No Jumper for the first time and talks about how his paranoia makes him think that his fans are actually ops trying to set him up. Going on No Jumper made C-Mac blow up more than ever, but he still had one foot in the streets. He ended up getting arrested again for dodging his parole officer and carrying a gun. Luckily, he only spent a couple months behind bars, and when he got out, he launched his rap food clothing company. 2021 was a wild year for C-Mac. He was releasing music, doing interviews, and gaining more fans every day. Then, in November, his fame skyrocketed even more after he appeared on the Channel 5 News YouTube channel. Channel 5 is hosted by YouTube journalist Andrew Callaghan from All Gas No Breaks. The channel is famous for interviewing crazy, unique people, so C-Mac fit in perfectly. C-Mac took the Channel 5 crew to 55th Street and showed them around the area. This was the biggest opportunity for C-Mac yet. The video let him show off his wild personality, but it also focused on his efforts to help people in his community. At the end of 2021, C-Mac was on track to become a certified internet celebrity, but 2022 has been off to a rocky start. In early February, fans were shocked when C-Mac posted a video showing his face covered in bruises and cuts. Getting jumped is one thing, but then it was revealed that C-Mac got DP'd by his own gang. A DP is a beating given out as discipline for doing something against your set. This is why it was weird to see someone like C-Mac get jumped by his set. He constantly reps his hood and helps shine more light on the 5-5 Crips. But the DP happened after an op from Hoover leaked old Facebook posts of Crip Mac claiming another set. After the DP, C-Mac went on No Jumper to explain the situation. According to him, he had to fight 7 5-5 Crips as punishment, but he took it like a man, and now he says everything's cool between him and the homies. Then, just a couple of weeks later, C-Mac ended up getting arrested again. The charges are allegedly related to drugs and weapons, but no details have been confirmed. C-Mac has never even released his legal name to the public, so finding information on his cases is almost impossible. But Blueface's manager, Wack 100, leaked a bunch of C-Mac's info online, so now they got beef too. No one knows what's going on with C-Mac's charges, but if he violated his parole again and got caught with drugs and a gun, he might actually end up doing some serious time. Hopefully, he can sort his legal situation out and get released while he's still popping online. C-Mac has a perfect opportunity to make it out of the streets with his social media presence and music. But if he don't change up his lifestyle and start moving smarter, it's only a matter of time before he catches a charge that sticks.